All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Welcome in, everybody. Streaming on a Friday. We have a little bit of price action going on, a little bit of volatility on the charts. Welcome in, everybody. Quiles, what's up, man? It's good to see you. Drum Hop TV, welcome in as well. You're still in the short from 93.5. For me was a move above 92. Well, yes, we're going to talk about that because I did get stopped out of my short from yesterday, but I did re-enter. Matt Jenkins, welcome in. Upside down cup and handle on the weekly. We'll check that out. We'll take a look at that. 39,500 is a bit low, but in the very bearish bear market scenario, I think we could go down to 34,000. So we'll talk about that in just a bit. Coin Operated, welcome in, man. Thank you so much for being here. Jawfield, let's go, man. Happy hump day. Every day's hump day in the Divine Hood community. So thank you for being here, Jawfield. Much love to you, man. And our Pink, welcome in. Let's go. Thank you for being here. Thank you for modding, as always. Glasshopper, welcome in. Good afternoon to you as well. Alex and Durandrea, welcome in. Sorry, guys. I am still trying to figure out YouTube names when they're all squished together like this. So good evening to you two. Thank you for being here as well. And yes, absolutely about the Telegram. I need to know. I know I need to update you guys more and more in that Telegram. So I'm going to be working on that. D Crypto, good afternoon to you as well. And Dread Mining, good day to you, sir. Thank you for being here. Okay, guys. So Bitcoin saw another move up this morning. Let me go on to the 2-hour chart. So it's really good on the 2-hour chart. You can see we rejected the value area high again today. First of all, yesterday after the stream, we were ending the stream right in this general area, and we came up and we swing failed patterned the internal highs from yesterday. Let me take a step back and talk about that first. So I did say when the stream ended, we were in this general area. And I said, guys, if we do come up again and actually hit that value area high, because at the time yesterday, we had just barely front ran the value area high of the range. On Coinbase, it's about 91,500. On Bybit, 91,700. But you can see yesterday, we had barely front run the touching of that value area high here and the value area high here. And because we did bounce from the VWAP earlier during the stream, I said, since we're bouncing from VWAP, it's likely we do come out and take the highs out locally. So I was waiting, and I did end the stream, but I said, I'll let you guys know if I do enter short, if we get that move up. So I got an alert that went off later in the day. I'd set alert right on that value area high, saw that we swing fail patterned the high and then rejected, and I entered short there. And I was looking to come all the way down to grab the lows from the Thursday, from yesterday. We didn't quite get that. We came down to the anchored VWAP again. We bounced from the anchored VWAP, and then we saw a very clean 3-wave corrective move up here, rejecting from our 1-to-1 Fibonacci target. But I got stopped out. Once I saw us pumping in this candle here, I closed it out manually. And I had like very little profit. It was pretty much a break-even trade from yesterday's short. But then we rejected from the 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction, and we lost our value area high. So if I pull that value area high over again now to current price action, we had lost the value area high again. And this is when I actually shorted the backtest to the 786, and I let you guys know about this in the Telegram. So short opportunity here. You know, I should have taken some profit when I saw us bouncing from this anchored VWAP. I should have taken at least 25% of the trade out and moved my stop to break even. I didn't. It was a little bit late for me, and just it is what it is. But if we zoom out to the 2-hour now, you can see on the 2-hour, all we did was wick above the value area high on that volatility that we saw this morning. No daily candle closes above the value area high, and we wicked up to our 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction. So what I'm looking at here is this being an impulsive move to the downside. And we could look at this as some sort of contracting diagonal to the downside that we saw a contracting diagonal here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. Or you could do some subcounts in there. But after that move to the downside, we did have some increasing volume on this move to the downside. And then we got our 3-wave corrective move right into that 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction. So let me go ahead and delete this real quick, and I will show you guys. If you take a trend-based Fibonacci extinction from the highs of your A wave or lows, excuse me, lows of your A wave to the highs of your A wave to the lows of your B wave, we came right up and tapped that 1-to-1 target. Now, your most common target for a 3-wave corrective move, an ABC correction, WXY correction, is between the 1-to-1 and the 1.236. So we took out the liquidity from yesterday's high, we hit into that 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction, and then we lost our value area high. Now, I did not short upon the initial rejection of the 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction because there was a possibility we could have kept pushing up here. What I did then is I zoomed in on the chart, on the 5-minute chart, and we got our first drop below the value area high. We bounced from the VWAP. But as we were coming up here, we had the bear divs on the chart. We had some bear divs on the chart developing. And at between the golden pocket and 786, I was looking for, okay, if we did reject from the 1-to-1, that is your common target for a 3-wave corrective move. So if this is a bigger 3-wave corrective move, your risk is really nice, really calculated risk. If I just put on that golden pocket to 786 Fibonacci, if we are going to make a lower high, it's going to be between the golden pocket and the 786. So as we were pumping here, we pumped up, we wicked through the 786. As soon as we started closing below that 786, I said, you know what? The risk is so short on this. If I enter short, and I entered short right about here, entered short, and I said, I'll just put my stop above that local high from earlier today. And I'm just going to be looking at first to take out the lows from Thursday. So that will be my first initial. And that is a great scalp trade just to get into now. And so I am short from this 786 Fibonacci lower high tap. And now we are starting to push down here locally. So what we're looking at here potentially is, let me now zoom out onto the hourly chart. We had our big dump. We grabbed the liquidity from the range highs. Had a big dump from there, fell back inside the volume profile, closed a daily candle back inside the volume profile. The next day, in our daily red candle underneath, we back tested that volume profile and rejected, and we closed a second daily candle back inside the volume profile. Let me just zoom out to the daily and show you this. So you can see, closed our first daily candle back inside the volume profile. The very next day, we dropped, came back up, back tested that value area high, and then we ended up closing our daily candle in this general area, but it's within the volume profile after a bearish backtest. So what that tells me is that, hey, we might be finding, we might be confirming reacceptance back within this fair value, within this range, the fair value of this range. So if we are, then now I'm going to be looking for shorts to come down to the point of control of the range, which the point of control of the range is around $87,500. I am actually going to go through that really quickly as well. We did actually, it's not on Bitcoin. On Solana, we had a value area shift, and I'll talk about that when we get to Solana. But seeing that this was a 3-wave corrective move here, rejecting directly from our 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction target, now we might see a 5-wave impulse to come down to our next major support level, seeing that bigger 3-wave corrective move coming down, bouncing from around $87,800 to $87,500. This support zone will be the next big support where I will look for long opportunities, because now there's a possibility that we just continue to range. And especially now that it's Friday, we're going into the weekend. We often know the weekend does slow, grindy ranges. I am looking for us to come down to $87,500. Another reason why we're looking for a potential drop, in even a drop to the bottom of the range to take out all of this liquidity trail, because all of this liquidity was built up over the last week and a half. And that is a bunch of higher lows, just barely, where there's stops underneath each one of those. So if we do start to lose 87,500, we could flush down very quickly and take out pretty much to the value area low of the range where our more macro golden pocket is. And that golden pocket is pulled from the 80K lows up to your 95K highs, or, 95K, 94.8. So, and the reason also I'm looking for a potential move all the way back down is because we were looking at a potential 5-wave impulse, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to come up to $96,500, $96,600, where our big range point of control is between $96,500 and $97,000. But we did hit the golden pocket. So if we pull our Fibonacci from the lows of wave 3 to the highs of wave 3, We put on that golden pocket. We hit the golden pocket yesterday. So on the drop yesterday, hitting this golden pocket invalidates a 5-wave impulse because your 4th wave cannot drop to the golden pocket. Since we hit this golden pocket, now we have to say, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is now invalidated. Now we have to look at this as a possible 3-wave corrective move, taking out the range high liquidity before seeing a bigger dump to the downside in another 3-wave corrective move, looking at just this complex corrective range continuing here. And so I've been emphasizing shorts over the past couple of days, especially because we fell back inside the volume profile, immediate backtest rejection, new low, bounce from support, a backtest, didn't get a new low, but bounce again from the anchor view up, and then now another backtest, another what seems to be rejection here. With the short that I'm in right now, that I entered earlier today, I will be taking some profit if we do take out yesterday's lows, around $89,200. And I actually have this set already. I thought I had an alert set here. Let me see. Let me just make sure that alert is on. If we do come down to $89,200, I will take at least 50% of the short trade out. And then I could look to re-enter back in if we do. Well, I probably will take 25% out guaranteed, but if we SFP it, then I'll take out 50%. If we don't SFP it, I'll take 25% and I'll let the rest run to come down to between 87.8 and 87.5. Now we do have our bigger ascending channel. So let me zoom out to the 4-hour chart and I'll clean this chart up here really quickly. On that 4-hour chart, we can see that we have a ascending channel of this entire price action here. This is pulled from your 80.5K lows to your $84,400 higher lows up to your first initial high. And so that is our channel that we've kind of been grinding in. You can see the bottom of the channel is aligning with our support level where we could at least expect some sort of bounce, even if this bounce is going to create a lower high before ultimately dumping down to the value area low and coming to our golden pocket value area low. I am going to look at least for a scalp long opportunity from here. I will take it only if we have confirmation. So if we're developing bull divs on like the 1 hour, 2 hour, maybe a 15, 30 minute, I will look for a long from this area. But I am short and I'm looking at least to take out yesterday's lows and potentially even come all the way down to the value area low. So if we pull another trend-based Fibonacci extension and we're looking at another 3-wave corrective move, we can go from the highs of the range, that swing failure pattern high, down to yesterday's lows up to today's highs. You can see that 1-to-1 Fibonacci extension and the 1.236 are pretty close to our support levels. I would say the 1.236 is a little bit better. And honestly, if we come down this low, we might just come grab this liquidity anyways, because once again, with channel trading, guys, I talk about this a lot. If you break a channel to the downside, you generally will sweep the liquidity of the second pivot of that channel. And we have all this liquidity sitting in here as well. So, and if we look at our liquidation heat map, okay, real quickly before we go through that, we did grab the liquidity. You can see this is our Model 3 heat map from yesterday's highs, including myself. A lot of people shorted that bearish backtest of the value area high. So we had a lot of liquidity from yesterday's shorters. We bounced up, we just grabbed that liquidity, and now we're kind of dropping here. So finally grabbed local liquidity. But if we go to the 2-week chart and we look at the last couple weeks of price action, the majority of the liquidity is going to be around $86,000, coming and sweeping all of these lows here, all of these lows into your value area low that's about $86,000, that starts at about $86,000. So because this liquidity is so strong and resting down here, there is a possibility that we could see this larger 3-wave corrective move to sweep all of that and then just simply continue the range, continue our sideways range, right? Because this is our sideways range in here. And if we have a sideways range and we try to break out of the value area high, but we reject and fall back inside of it, if your point of control doesn't hold, if your point of control holds, you might be able to make another attempt to break out. If your point of control doesn't hold or you make a lower high on that, then you expect to drop to the value area low. And it would just be simply filling the volume profile, another rotation of the volume profile in this consolidation pattern, in this corrective price action that we've been seeing really for about 8 weeks now, for about 2 months now, we've been seeing this price action. Let me see here. It has been about, 50 days, 49 days, guys, 49, 50 days. But that's kind of what I'm looking at here for Bitcoin. So let me jump in the chat again, and we will go through Bitcoin a little bit more. We can go through the order flow. We can go through some of the altcoins, post some of the altcoins you guys want me to look at. I'm going to look at Ethereum. I'm going to look at Solana. We can look at just the regular ones, but welcome in, everybody. Thank you for being here. Warthog Thunderbolt, good afternoon to you as well. Crypto Wanderer, good afternoon or good evening to you. Chad P, welcome in as well. Okay. Behaves, H, welcome in. Hi, Trump is having a live conference shortly. Will you also please play a side next to the chart so we can understand the market volatility? Yeah, we can check that out. I'll look and see if we can't find that. Andrew, welcome in, man. Good to see you in here. Much love to you, man. And Mind Tapestry, much love to you as well. Happy Friday. Let's see. Bled Dress. Let's see. Bled Durham Stat, welcome in. Good afternoon, Overtaker. So, guys, pretty much, I'm just range trading. We're still in range trading mode here. And right now, because the market has been relatively low volatility, I mean, this was pretty nice. But, and also even this was pretty nice here. But relatively over the past couple of weeks, we had been in some low volatility. Now we did get some volatility at the beginning of the week, or for about a week here. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday through Monday. And now I'm looking for a potential larger three-wave corrective move to come down at least to $87,500. We are starting to dump. We have lost our VWAP for the day. You can see our VWAP is lost. We have rejected after taking liquidity from yesterday's highs. We took the liquidity locally from yesterday's highs. Right there. Took that liquidity, and now we're dropping. And the way we pushed up in that three-wave corrective move suggests that now we could see another impulse to the downside here. And depending on how quick this happens, you know, we do know that at least where I'm at in the world, Sunday about midday is when the markets start to reactivate. Through most of Saturday, it's flat and sideways. We might be seeing a little bit of impulsive price action down into close today, maybe taking out the local lows from yesterday, bounce from the anchored VWAP from the 80.5K lows, come up to golden pocket, then see a move down to 89,000 or 87,900, bounce, a small bounce there, and then come down to 80.5K, where we do have that naked daily point of control. We have a daily level. We have a daily level at 87,500, a naked daily point of control, and our 8-week-long range point of control that is down there. And then, of course, the weekly is at 87,900-ish. So that's what we could be looking at. Now, our 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction is below this support level. So there is a possibility that we could just smash right through it. We'll have to see how aggressive this gets to the downside, but we could smash through it, bounce from the 1-to-1 only to reject from that point of control and come down to value area low. Because if you lose point of control, now we're looking for the bearish backtest of point of control. If you bearishly backtest it and reject, you expect to come to value area low. And that's what we could see here. It would give us a little bit more confluence for this larger three-wave corrective move. Another thing that I was looking at is if I go onto my Bybit USD chart, we're looking at our pitchfork band. And here's the thing, guys. I did say this yesterday. The value area high of our range is right into that pitchfork band. Let me go ahead and pull this all the way. And we were looking to come up to touch the value area high and the pitchfork band. And we did. We rejected from the value area high and the pitchfork band right here. And now we're starting to push down here. So this was the area. We fell back inside the volume profile. This was the attempt here. If we would have bounced and made new highs, then I would say, okay, 96.5 is almost guaranteed. Not 100%, but almost guaranteed. And it looks like we're going to see a bigger push up here. But because we bounced here, we failed the bounce, and then we fell back in, that is a bearish sign. You've fallen back in. Now we could create a range, and this range could even extend, through Saturday here. We could just chop and do something like this for a bit. maybe kind of create some sort of triangle in here before ultimately dumping down and coming to your point of control or your value area low here. But the fact that we've fallen back inside the volume profile, back tested that value area high, and we are rejecting currently means that we might see more downside locally. Now, that doesn't mean that this was it, and now we're going to go straight down. We could still trade within this range. Unfortunately, I think this would be max pain for a lot of people, is if we trade in this range for another 2-3 weeks, maybe even until February, or I wouldn't say February, but late January or so, or until some sort of big catalyst comes out. And I know we do have a lot of news this week. We have, let's see here. We had CPI on Tuesday. We had non-farm payroll on Wednesday. Thursday was CPI month over month. Actually, that's not for the United States. Sorry. Unemployment claims today. And then tomorrow we do have the unemployment average hourly earnings and non-farm employment change. So a couple big news things tomorrow morning as well. And that could give us some volatility. Actually, that's this morning. Hold on here, guys. That's this morning. I'm sorry. I'm all screwed up. Jaffiel, I think your everyday hump day thing has got me thinking every day's a Wednesday. No, I'm just messing with you. But yeah, so we had a lot of news this week, and next week we can look at next week as well. Let's go ahead and come into next week. Yeah, we have core CPI month over month next Tuesday, and year over year CPI. That's going to be important. So next Tuesday we'll have some catalyst in the market, and then it looks like on Wednesday we have retail sales month over month, and we have producer price inflation month over month. So that is going to be interesting. Thursday, unemployment claims. Yeah, all right. Not too much. I would say Tuesday is going to be the big day. Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be the big days for us. Core CPI is going to be important. All right, let me check this chat. Luciano, welcome in. Much love to you. Kicked you today from the beginning. Cheers from Brazil. Cheers back to you, man. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm glad you could make it. Okay, you did miss that short at the retest of the value area high. It was the golden pocket and a 0.5 fib. Okay. Yes. For me, I was just looking at that liquidity grab. We had that internal liquidity from yesterday's highs into there, and it was our 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction. And that was what's important, because if you are going to move up here in a 3-wave corrective move and reject straight from that 1-to-1, that's a high probability that this was a corrective move before overall continuing the trend, the local trend to the downside. All right. Yesterday, she bounced and closed hourly above the 0.5 fib and bounced hard. Did the same today, and today she had the daily right below the 0.5. Are you talking about Bitcoin? So I entered on the 1-minute market structure. On Bitcoin, you entered on 1-minute market structure. Let me just go to the 3-minute here. I think you must be talking about in this general area here. A scalp long opportunity, maybe. But we're losing VWAP right now, guys. We're losing VWAP. We are starting to dump back down. Just pull this all the way. Losing. And we could even look at a smaller range. If we zoom into like the 6-minute chart, this whole corrective move here, we could even look at this as a little range in here. All right, value area lows coming up at this range. You could pull this from the bottom here. Yeah, I would say that it's likely that we are going to continue down. Let's keep an eye out during the stream on these local lows here as well. But I really would like to take out yesterday's lows. If we can take out yesterday's lows, maybe see a swing failure pattern, it might give us a scalp long opportunity during the stream today. But remember, if we're going to take out yesterday's lows, I'm just going to be looking for maybe that all of this is our wave 1 to SFP yesterday's lows, and then we get a wave 2 retrace up to our golden pocket area before seeing a wave 3 and then a 4 and then a 5 to come down either to point of control or value area low. But this could be a nice little swing, scalp long opportunity to push up to a golden pocket up here. maybe just a percent or two, scrape a little bit of money from the market. But I will be, if I do long the SFP of $89,200, I will be taking profit at that golden pocket and probably 75% of it out. Okay, that's an actual Chinese token I'm hedging. It's like a monster. Okay, I'm not sure which one. Thanks for the great analysis. Made me some money today. Well, awesome, man. Thank you so much for the super chat, and I'm really happy that helped you. Appreciate you being here, and I'm glad. I'm glad that helps, man. Mark Dutch, welcome in. What's up, wankers? Like, subscribe. Yeah, it's good to see you, Mark. Happy Friday to you. I hope you had a good week. Thank you for being here. Thank you for modding as always. Please, guys, hit the like button. If you get any sort of insight into the market from this live stream, please hit the like button. And let's see. Hey, bro, is something bullish in you or you just want lower? No, there's still some bullish things. So I am still looking at a lot of the altcoins as being a little bit bullish based off those double 1-2 impulses like Solana here. Solana is still has like Bitcoin came down. Hold on real quickly. Let me go back to Bitcoin. If we're looking at Bitcoin being a 5-wave impulse, a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, 4, 5, well, Bitcoin came down and hit that golden pocket, pulled from the lows of wave 3 to the highs of wave 3. So we have to invalidate this as the more probable a 5-wave impulse up. We now have to classify it as more likely to be a 3-wave corrective move before dropping. But on Solana and some of the altcoins that are in double 1-2 impulses, Solana, we have our wave 1, wave 2, internal 1, internal 2, a big 3. We came right up to that 1.618 Fibonacci extinction. We've now seen a dump here. By the way, I talked about this yesterday, guys, the short from the daily in the 786. We talked about this on stream yesterday, right here. We did front run it by mere dollars, but we could be looking at that 3-wave corrective move to hit that naked daily point of control at 131.86 before seeing one last 5th wave to come up to take out these range highs. 2 more 5. Since we have 2 1-2s in here, we need 2 4-5s in here. So 4-5 and then a 4-5 coming up, taking out those range highs. So Solana, unlike Bitcoin, has not invalidated its bullish double 1-2. Sui is also bullish. Wave 1, wave 2, internal 1, internal 2, 3. We still have not even come down to that 0.5 Fibonacci. So I am still looking for longs between 172 and 168 on Sui to make some now 4-5s and 4-5s. And actually for Sui to come up to about 220 to about 227. And if Sui does come up to there, we haven't invalidated this yet. This is still bullish structure here and likely to be a bullish impulse as well, because we did break this so aggressively with an increase in volume. And so now if we do come back down here and backtest our pitchfork band that was acting as resistance, backtested as support, that 0.5 is right around there. I will be looking for long opportunities to take out those highs and potentially come up to 220. So yeah, I am bullish. It's just your sentiment has to change based off data on the chart. When I see us reject from this 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction rate here, there with it at, like if you see bearish sentiment on the chart or bearish reactions, why stay bullish when you see confirmation of a potential lower low coming on the chart? And I just go with what the data tells me. If we do bounce from $87,500, see a strong bounce with some impulsive price action, hey man, I'm going to flip my bias to bullish, because then I'll be looking for a 3-wave retrace. I'll look to long this retrace and look to take it back up here. So it just depends on what the data is telling us. But falling back inside that volume profile, why am I bearish? Why am I a little bit bearish here, guys? Because this is our 8-week long range volume profile. We attempted to break out of that volume profile. We did break out of that volume profile only to come up to grab the liquidity from our range highs, and then we fell back inside of it. That's always a bearish sign when you grab liquidity in a range and then you fall back inside your volume profile. You are now in some ways confirming reacceptance back within the volume profile. Now that's a bearish sign. But what's even more bearish is to come up and bearishly backtest the value area high and reject. Well, that's pretty much confirming that you're going to come down to the POC. So when you see these bearish rejections here on the bearish backtest of the value area high, now you're expecting the drop to test the fair value of the range. And if the fair value doesn't hold, then you're going to expect to come down to the value area low, to the undervalued portion of the range. So yes, locally, I guess you could say locally, I am bearish on Bitcoin, but on some of the altcoins, it looks pretty good. Okay, my 97K, 90.7K short entry is holding up. Awesome, John. That's good. Good that you're short. Just make sure, let's see, 90.7K. Okay, so you are quite a ways down here on that. Just it's looks like it's right around VWAP. So be careful with that. Now we are losing VWAP. We did reject from the VWAP at around 90,800, but be careful because if we take out these lows here, you might see a small move back up to kind of retest that area before continuing down. Just manage your risk there, I guess I would say. Every day hump day. Gotta have that clear mind. Yeah, Jaffiel, I feel you, dude. I feel you. Pirate Jr., welcome in. What do I think on ZEC? We'll cover ZEC. Can't believe I nearly FOMO long today. We'll chill out a bit this weekend. Yeah, AXSCB, welcome in, by the way. It's nice to see you in here. This trapped a lot of people. Let me go into the order flow on this. Check this out, guys. On our order flow chart, this push up that we saw here, big aggressive move up. Look at all the longs that entered primarily in that area, and they were fresh long positions. So this, again, is people longing towards the top of our range, or maybe, it wasn't a breakout of the value area high yet. I get that if we broke out of the value area high, back tested it, then you enter long on the back test of the breakout, but they were entering into the value area high, entering into resistance, fresh long positions. Almost all of them were long. Almost all of them were long positions. And yes, it did give us a push up for a liquidity grab of yesterday's highs, where we did have that liquidity sitting right above yesterday's highs. And now we are dumping here. So I just don't, it's going to be used as fuel. We have longs within this entire structure up. So now what is happening? Look at our open interest. It is dropping here because all those people that longed, and a lot of the longs, let me just clean this up real quick. A lot of the longs you can see came in primarily in this candle here and this candle here. So these two candles that were imbalance candles, most of them were pretty much straight long positions. And those long positions now are getting trapped underwater. They're being forced to close. That's why we are seeing a drop in open interest here, is because they're being forced to close. And even right now, look at this. We are seeing some long positions, fresh long positions stepping in right now. Now they're probably looking at, let's check this out real quick here. They're probably looking at longing a golden pocket or a 786. Let's throw on that 786. Yeah, they're looking at longing the 786 tap right now. So from the low from earlier today to the high, come down to the 786. You see a small bounce from here. I wouldn't expect it to bounce this much. We might get a little bit of a move up, maybe even to back test the VWAP again before dropping. But it's likely to me that we are going to continue down. And even this here, you could see this was a little bit of a triangle in here. Triangle breaks down. Sometimes you'll bounce from local support, backtest VWAP, or even backtest kind of your breakdown of the triangle area before coming down. But yes, locally, I'm looking to take out these lows and even yesterday's low. All right. Dad87, welcome in. Also, the short today, rejected from the anchored VWAP from the local top. Okay, so that's from our $95,000 top, or 94.8. Let's throw an anchored VWAP on that. You know what? You're right, dude. And I should have had that anchored VWAP on the chart, because that was our new range high. Instead of this being our new range high, that is your new range high. So very good analysis there, man. That's great to see. And actually, look at this. We're squeezing between these two VWAPs here. And this squeeze and range could continue between these two VWAPs while they squeeze tighter and tighter together. We could see a squeeze and a potential breakdown from that, or a break up. It's less likely to break up, but anchored VWAPs are very important. They're volume levels, and volume and liquidity are the things to watch most in the market. All right. So let me go through ZEC real quick here while Bitcoin is dumping. ZEC rejected from our resistance, by the way. Now, we threw this resistance on quite a while ago. But this was our resistance zone. Golden pocket. It was a golden pocket and a liquidity grab here. So you can see we got the liquidity grab right above, right, pretty much right into that golden pocket, and we're dumping. And we did bounce from the midline of our pitchfork. So you bounce from the midline, but this looks like, remember, a wave one to the downside. In a wave two, you often retrace to the golden pocket. This could all be part of a bigger wave 3, 4, 5, potentially coming down to the bottom of the pitchfork, or even, dumping more significantly here. But we're at the value area low. Yesterday, we bounced from the value area low. I know the dev team quit. I guess I heard they walked out or something like that. I actually was looking to short this golden pocket. Yesterday, when we dropped from here, we bounced from the value area low. If we would have came up to this golden pocket, you could see I had an alert line, a golden pocket alert line set, because I was looking to bounce or to short a potential breakdown here. We never got that, and that's okay. Actually, maybe we did get that. No, I did it afterwards. But ZEC now is breaking down, and we also had a channel. So let me go ahead and now that we've rejected this, I can delete this. I can delete our resistance box now that we rejected it. I can delete this liquidity grab. We rejected it. I'm just going to hide this for a second. We're going to hide this for a second. And, you lost value area high, big swift move down, small bounce up to try to get back inside the volume profile. You need to stay inside this volume profile. Could we SFP yesterday's lows and actually hit the bottom of the pitchfork midline and then see a continuation of this volume profile? Yes, we could. But we were in an ascending channel here, and a very nice ascending channel that we were in right here. This ascending channel broke down. So when you break that down, you look to at least grab the liquidity of the second pivot of that channel. That's this low right here. So I would be expecting us maybe to come down to grab. And did we actually grab it? Let's see here. No, we haven't grabbed it yet. So one more low into that pitchfork midline and to grab this liquidity at 370, to me, is likely that we could see that. Yeah, this is a bit wonky here because it does look like mostly a 3, 1, 2, 3, followed by a 1, 2, 3. So a WX, and then you'd look for a 1, 2, 3, a Y, a WXY complex corrective move maybe in here before potentially coming back up. If this was impulsive, we wanted to see a 5-wave structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we wanted to make a new low 5 and then make that 3 up and then see the big impulse down here. So there is a possibility we could SFP the lows of 370 and then continue up, but we broke the channel down. So I am expecting us to come down and take that liquidity. It's not guaranteed, but it's highly likely that we come down to take the liquidity. And if we are seeing, like, this was very bullish over the past couple of weeks, guys. This was definitely impulsive structure in here. So now that this impulse could be finished, we now have to look at, okay, if that impulse is finished there, what are we going to be looking at? We're going to be looking at a corrective move, potentially from the bottom of the impulse. Let me just estimate this to the highs of the impulse. We can turn on our golden pocket and let's put that based off log scale, because that's more than a 100% move. We could drop all the way down to like $112, $101. I don't know if we're going to drop that aggressively. And actually, we could look at our trend-based Fibonacci extinction here. Let me just hide this range for a second. We can pull our trend-based Fibonacci extinction, and we'll go from those highs to the lows to the lower high. Yeah, coming down. I mean, that 1.236 at the bottom of the pitchfork is nice there, 182. So if this is going to be a bigger 3-wave corrective move, either bouncing from the 1-to-1 or bouncing from the 1.236, making a higher low before continuing maybe to push up here, we'll see. But you did have some pretty significant bearish divergences on the daily time frame. Look at, as we were coming up here, significant bearish divergences, money flow draining out of the asset, just crossing into the red, by the way. Bearish divergences here, bearish divergences on money flow on the daily time frame. So yeah, we could expect a significant pullback here. And so far, this, because we rejected the golden pocket lower high right here, Now I am expecting us to come down lower and to make new lows below the lows from from Tuesday. So let's see how that plays out. Yes, you could see a bounce from the midline and you could chop something like this. You could see something like that continue. You might see a bounce and at least come up to your golden pocket pulled from this low or that high to this low. But overall, I would say we're not done with the corrective move. It's a daily bearish divergence, and then we have a break in market structure on the daily time frame. You broke market structure bearishly by taking out this low here. Break market structure bearishly, 3-wave corrective move, a larger, well, this is small. Actually, this could be a 5-wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Move down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, that's a little bit wonky to count that as a 5, but either way, larger 3-wave corrective move here. Reject from golden pocket. Now we could expect a potential move down. The key is going to be to hold the value area low if we're going to hold the value area low of that range. And that is going to be right around those lows at 370, pretty much 380, 370, 381 in that general area. And we do have support there of that pitchfork midline. Okay. Jesus Save 77, welcome in, man. God bless you as well. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the super chat. And Quiles, thank you so much for the super chat too. Guys, I appreciate y'all so much. We have such a great community in here. Okay, let's see. Let me check this chat. Hype, what do you think? Let me go through Solana real quickly here. So, Jawfeel, on Solana yesterday, I know you asked me about we were bouncing from this point of control. So let me pull this back because this is actually important. Point of control yesterday was down here at 135-ish, 135.85, 130, right in here, 132. We bounced from the point of control, and you were asking about if we can come up to the golden pocket. So if we pull this here, golden pocket, and we were right in here, and you were asking, should I take some profit? And I said, if we come down to VWAP and bounce from VWAP, yes, I would. But we didn't come down to VWAP, and we came up, broke through the golden pocket. I said the level I would be looking at is really that 786 in daily level. And we did come up pretty much to that 786 daily, and we did reject. Sorry, guys. Had to, the dog was going crazy. I had to get the dog to stop for a second. Okay, so we came up to that daily, that 786 Fibonacci. We front ran it just barely, like by what, 10, 20 cents or something like that. But this was our general area to look for a rejection. We are rejecting, broke market structure bearishly, come up for another lower high, and now we're continuing to move down. But what I'm looking at on Solana, because we still have our bigger double 1-2 impulse here, 1-2, 1-2, big 3. Now we're looking for a 3-wave corrective move and a 4th wave, and to hit the 0.5 Fibonacci and to hit our naked daily point of control. So we haven't quite hit that yet. Let's see, where was that? Let's just pull that here. Actually, we did hit the 0.5 Fibonacci. So bounce from that, but you can wick a little bit past that. If this is going to be a 3-wave corrective move, as long as you don't hit the golden pocket below. So we could come down a little bit, hit the naked daily point of control that was front ran. As long as you don't hit the golden pocket of that wave 3, the impulse is not invalidated. So as long as we don't come down to 130, we could still bounce from 131.86 and then continue the impulsive price action to the upside after that. But I am looking now to potentially come down and take out the lows from Thursday, yesterday's lows. And another thing, we did have our volume profile shift. So you can see this is our volume profile between our larger point of control and our larger value area low. Let me throw that on there. I know you guys have seen this many times. It's getting boring, but larger value area low down here, larger point of control up here. We're just ranging, possibly forming an accumulation range between those two major volume levels. And this smaller, so we're analyzing the price action within that sideways range, within this sideways range. And we did reject the value area high. We did reject our 1.618 Fibonacci extinction. So what do you expect? You expect to come down to point of control. Well, we did come down to point of control, but now if we pull our volume profile to present day current price action, the value area high is shifted. It is no longer down here at 132. It is now shifted up to about 137.5. So we are below the value area or the point of control of that range. The value area low is still down in this area. It's shifted up just slightly here, but I would expect, I would say in order to remain bullish, we just want to see like an SFP of yesterday's low into that naked daily. If we go back, if we continue down a little bit farther, it's going to get really hairy for Solana, and then Solana could see a much bigger drop if we don't. But I will be looking for longs. Actually, let's do this right now. Let's set an alert at that low at 132.5 from yesterday. We're going to set an alert here, and we're just going to put SFP long. If we SFP that long, I would like to SFP it into the naked daily. So I'd like to come down here, wick through it, bounce from the naked daily, and as soon as we reclaim that low, I will look to scalp long or to long this. So I will long, stop below that low, below the naked daily point of control. And I would be expecting, based off of our larger bullish double 1-2 impulse, to come up and at least take out the highs. That would be a TP1, is taking out these highs at around 143. But then my final TP would be taking out probably the range highs up here around 147. These range highs around 147. So that is a really nice trade, 14.6 risk to reward ratio there. And then, of course, your TP1 would be at about a 11 risk to reward ratio. But Solana is still in bullish market structure, and it has not invalidated. Unlike Bitcoin, Solana has not invalidated its overall 5-wave impulse to the upside. Bitcoin has already came out and taken out its range high liquidity. Solana has not. So it makes sense that Solana could continue this impulse just to continue up here, take this out, and then after taking that out, guess what? We might see another dump here. Now, overall on Solana, I'm not, say we do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, take out the liquidity. I'm not expecting necessarily to come take out these lows. What we could then look for, because this was impulsive price action, a 5-wave impulse, now we can look for a 3-wave corrective move to make a higher low, maybe at the golden pocket in the value area low, and then look for a break up here. So, and then that would also be, think about that in terms of the accumulation range. So let me hide this range. Let me just go ahead and hide some of this stuff on the chart. And we could throw on our larger range here, and it would be a potential accumulation, right? You have your tap 1 in here, your tap 2 in here. If we come down, hit the golden pocket, tap 3 here, that's your inverse head and shoulders or your Model 2 accumulation that's going on in here at the bottom of the value area low. And then you could break out, see expansion up to, maybe up to your anchored VWAPs that are coming up here. But that's kind of what I'm looking at here on Solana. All right, let me check Hype out really quickly here. Hype USD. I don't know if I've ever looked at this one. Ooh, okay. Is there a better chart for this? Oh, that's .us. I don't want. All right, we'll stick with Bybit. I'm just going to mark out a couple levels really quickly here. I would say, man, we got so close to taking out. It looks like we could come down and take this out, honestly. Don't like that too much. I would then be looking at this trend, very, very steep trend in here. Okay, that's your kind of daily channel to the downside. After seeing your dead cat bounce, actually, it wasn't a dead cat bounce because it came up and pretty much took out the highs here, but you took out some local highs, and then now this is our trend to the downside. This price action in here, we're breaking out of that trend and back testing it right now, so we could continue up here. You do have a daily level coming up. Has this been hit? That's been hit, so get rid of that. All right, you have something up here, but nothing too much. Let's mark this out. And this was barely front run, so we'll mark that out as well. I would be looking at this sideways range from the lows after the impulse ended. This is your range here. This is a fresh daily, so we didn't reject from this daily. This daily was confirmed after we rejected. But what happened is you can see here on this chart, on this channel, and let me kind of throw the pivots on this channel here. Kind of grinding down within this channel, rejection, come up to the top, rejection, come down to the bottom, bounce. We're breaking out of the channel for the first time. So we're breaking out of the channel. We flipped the channel and the value area high immediately to support, made new local highs, took the liquidity of the local of this high here. We're dropping to back test the channel right now. So if we fall back inside of it, it's not going to be a good sign. But I will say this, as far as the volume profile goes, you attempted the breakout, you grabbed some liquidity, just like with Bitcoin. You're now falling back inside the volume profile. You back tested it bearishly, you rejected. We fell through the value, the point of control. Today, we back tested it and we're rejecting. This is not good. So if you don't bounce kind of where we're at right now, then I would expect to move down to daily in the value area low. Let's throw on our golden pocket here from the last kind of 4-hour low to the highs. Yeah, we're pretty much right at that golden pocket zone. It's not a good look that we're breaking through it right now. Yeah, you have that 886. It's going to be right on that daily. So this could be still an area of support in a sideways range, and this is pretty sideways in here. The 886 will give you a bounce sometimes. So the 886 value area low is coming up here. That's a daily level. So that could be a little area of support. Let's check out our naked weekly points of control and our naked daily points of control here. And we are hitting a naked daily point of control right now. Let's zoom in on this. You're hitting a naked daily point of control at your golden pocket pretty much right now. If this doesn't hold and it's starting not to hold, man, we are going to move down to that value area low daily level. You know what? This is what's weird about trading views. So see when I'm zoomed in on the hourly, your value area low. Okay, I guess it is down here. Value area low just recently shifted down here, but if we just pull it back even an hour or so, it's up in this area. This is probably where you want to be looking between the daily and the naked daily with your value area low just now shifting below it a little bit. 886 is in there as well. But you're kind of at the level. You want to hold this because if you could bounce from here, but if you bounce from here, you're probably going to make a lower high before continuing down to take out these lows. It still could be a long opportunity from this area, but I mean, if you want to remain bullish, you want to bounce from the bullish backtest of that channel breakout, which is where we're at right now. Naked daily point of control, channel bullish backtest, and your golden pockets right around this area. Okay, and then if you do bounce from this area, you might even work your way all the way up to this naked weekly and weekly level, 31 to 32 pretty much. Taking out all this liquidity that's in here, at least these highs. Yeah, I mean, you could, this is really ugly, but 1, 2, 1, 2. Then this could all be classified as a 3. It's a weak 3, though. Very weak 3. 4, actually, that 4 retraced past the golden pocket, so you can't say that. You're at support right now that you gotta hold. If you start to break back within this channel, not looking good. You do have some bull divs on the chart. You can see this on the hourly. Bull divs as you're coming into this retest. Let's go to the 4 hour, see how the 4 hour looks. Hidden bull divs. And that hidden bull div just gave you that little push up to backtest value area high. 2 hour is also creating some nice potential bull divs here. It's not confirmed yet. Not confirmed yet. Money flow's just draining out. And remember, money flow always overpowers a single drive of bull divs. So be careful there. Now we can zoom into the 15 and look at, is this going to bounce here? No bull divs. Money flow's just crossing into the red. You have slight bull divs on NAMI between these two lows. Lower low, higher low. Also money flow bull divs. I would like to see Market Cipher look a little bit nicer. I mean, if you're interested in taking a long, what I would recommend is maybe if you're going to long this, stop right below that low. You know, target, and then if it holds, man, you're probably going to sweep a lot of this in a short squeeze pretty quickly. So I'd be looking at your golden pocket, which is probably going to be up right around these highs here. If I can get to them. Yeah. So I'd be looking at least a TP1 at that golden pocket swing failure pattern. All right. Found you by accident. You speak with both confidence and intelligence. And one of the only ones, or I haven't found yet, that use Elliott Waves. Well, Tony CC, thank you so much for that. And welcome in, man. Thank you so much for being here. I really do hope you get something out of these live streams. Welcome to the community, man. And thank you so much. Appreciate you and appreciate the kind comment, man. Can you think about making a WhatsApp group? Love the streams. I don't type much. I have a oh yeah, okay. I know you have Telegram. Yeah, Alex, the thing is with that, like I'm thinking about making a Discord soon, and it's a lot to manage a bunch of different apps like WhatsApp, Telegram, Discord, all these different things, and I've got my YouTube as well. So I'll think about that, but for me, WhatsApp is more like a private messaging. I don't know actually how much how Telegram works much, or not Telegram, how WhatsApp works much, and Telegram. Honestly, the only reason I opened a Telegram is because BYDFI asked to partner with me. And that's actually a good segue, guys. So real quickly, I just want to talk about the partners of the channel. I know some of you guys don't like this, but I have to do this here. I have a few partners of the channel, and the main partner of the channel is BYDFI. They're a VPN and KYC free exchange. All you need to sign up is an email and a password. If you do sign up using the affiliate link in the description below, you'll get a minimum of 20% discounts on trading fees, and you can actually earn up to 40% discounts on trading fees if you deposit some of the larger amounts into the exchange. They're offering up to $8,100 in futures trading bonuses, depending on how much volume you move in those futures markets. And they have some of the best initial deposit bonuses in the entire industry. If you deposit just $100, you can get a 50% deposit bonus, which is the highest I've seen of any exchange for $100. They're also offering 20%, 10% deposit bonuses here, depending on how much you deposit. And I have partnered with BYDFI to create a Telegram community. It is a private community, but it's free. All you need to do to get into that community is sign up with BYDFI using my affiliate link, deposit the $100. That $100 is your money to trade with. You're just depositing on the exchange. You will get the 20% discounts on trading fees, and you can get the 50% deposit bonus if you KYC. And once you've done that, click the Telegram link in the description of this video. Once you're in that Telegram chat, type in /verify in your user ID, which will be right up here on your BYDFI account, or it's going to be in the upper corner of your BYDFI account. And then once you type in /verify your user ID, you'll have automatic access to that Telegram community. And once you're in, you're in. That money is yours to trade with, guys. And I think it's a win-win for everyone, because all I do is I'm earning a portion of the fees that you were going to give to the exchange anyways for trading. And you guys get trading fee discounts. You can get deposit bonuses. You get access to the Telegram community where I do post my analysis throughout the day, what I'm thinking on Bitcoin, the altcoins. You guys can tag me in the chat, ask me questions about the altcoins or Bitcoin, and try to post trade setups in there and let you guys know when I'm taking a trade. So both those links are in the description. The second partner of the channel is NAMI Trading, and NAMI is this momentum and money flow indicator down here. Honestly, I use it pretty much for every trade. I use it for my confirmations for trades. So as we're coming up to resistance, I'm looking for bear divs on the chart. And if we have confirmed bear divs on the chart coming up into resistance, that's confirmation for me to enter a short position. So for me, it's a great and valuable tool. Like, think about if you were a plumber, you would invest in the proper tools to be successful at that trade. Well, same with trading. If you want to be a professional or a profitable trader, invest in the right tools that can help you be successful. So for me, NAMI Trading is one of them. It's great. The momentum and the momentum's really quickly. The money flow is real quick. It's great for finding those divergences. It even prints them out for you if you can't quite find them by naked eye alone. And so I partnered with NAMI to do I got you guys a 50% off discount, because it is a paid indicator, but I got you guys a 50% off discount if you sign up with my affiliate link in the description. And Divine50 is the discount code. The discount code is in the description as well. So if you're interested, that's in NAMI's partner of the channel. And then lastly, we have Bybit and MEXC. They're both great exchanges. They both are offering discounts on trading fees if you use my link. And Bybit's offering up to $30,000 in futures trading bonuses. And MEXC is offering a 10% deposit bonus up to about $1,000, I think. So that is the partners. It's if you do sign up, guys, it's just a way to help out the channel, just a way to support the channel. So thank you so much for all that. Let's get back to the TA now. Let's see. Let me check this chat here. I did want to ask genuine question, trying to learn, but how come the alts, for example, Solana, follow BTC's Elliott wave pattern if Bitcoin is potentially in a correction? Well, that's a good question, Tony C. Bitcoin was looking really bullish. So we know when Bitcoin ranges sideways, if dominance, one of the things we look at for altcoins against Bitcoin is we look at not only the Bitcoin dominance, but we look at the Bitcoin versus altcoin pair. So Bitcoin dominance has been dropping, actually just dropped to our support level. We were looking at bouncing between the 786 and the value area low. We're starting to bounce on Bitcoin dominance, but we rejected from the value area high from this zone here, which was a naked weekly point of control, and the value area high. We were looking for a rejection from there. Because Bitcoin dominance was dropping, you can expect the altcoins to pump harder than Bitcoin, right? That means that just the altcoins could run more. But if you look at, like, for instance, Solana versus the Bitcoin pair, the Solana versus Bitcoin, Solana was at a very crucial support level, and Solana was ready to bounce. So Solana was going to pump against Bitcoin anyway. So if Bitcoin is pumping, Solana's going to pump harder. And so now knowing that, even if Bitcoin's in a corrective move, Solana is still to this last week or so pumping against Bitcoin. Now, Solana against Bitcoin pair, it is coming up to resistance. We are at resistance on the Solana to Bitcoin pair. We're at our golden pocket. This could roll over here. This could be continued downtrend here, rejection, and continue the downtrend. And we could continue a bit lower even to take out these lows here. Or we'd have to look at some new price action here. On the Solana Bitcoin pair, I would actually be looking at this sideways range. Yeah, we bounced from the value area low of the range, and we're rejecting from the point of control and golden pocket, or potentially rejecting. This is resistance. And guys, Solana could be about to dump a lot harder than Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is going to hold up, when Bitcoin ranges sideways, there is a potential that Solana can flip this and we could continue up to take out these highs. That would actually be really nice. And then that way Solana is going to keep pumping in that double 1-2 impulse, even though that Bitcoin might be correcting. So good question there. And follow BTC's Elliott wave pattern. If Bitcoin is potentially in a correction, and Bitcoin is in a correction from taking the liquidity of the range highs, but because Solana is bouncing much stronger than Bitcoin, not only on Bitcoin dominance, it's expected, but against the Bitcoin pair, it was expected to pump. Now we're at resistance, so it could be expected to dump against Bitcoin. Just be aware of that, guys. Solana could be about to dump harder than Bitcoin. If it invalidates, if it hits that 130 level, that golden pocket at 130, then I will get a lot more bearish on Solana. I would expect, even if we bounce here, we'd create a lower high, and I would expect a dump probably back down to backtest the bottom of the pitchfork in the value area low of the range. Okay, let me just turn off some of these levels here. This chart is a mess. Man, Bitcoin really is trying to hold this little trend. We really are trying to hold this guy. And actually, we could throw, that looks like a channel to me. Let's throw on that channel. Perfect little channel. So you have your, and I'll change this color so it's not as confusing. We have our dump down. You often trend in a channel, and then you'll break the channel and come down. So that's kind of what I'm expecting. We did hit the highs of the channel here. Let's zoom in a bit onto the third 15-minute chart. And you can see that we're chopping around within this channel. I'll make this. Okay. Rejected the top of the channel. We bounced. So the channel was pulled off of this pivot, and this initial high here. And we come down again, bounce from the bottom of the channel again, push to the top, reject from the top. Maybe we're going to come down and bounce from the bottom again, only to come up to midline and then reject. We'll see how that plays out. But knowing that we're going into the weekend, I wouldn't be surprised if we do chop within this a little bit longer. Okay. Yeah, Kuhn's trading, guys. Kuhn's is everything I know from Elliott waves, I pretty much learned from Kuhn's. He is the best Elliott wave analyst there is out there, in my opinion. Now, there's other great ones. Andy's great. DeWalt is part of the Andy community. He's great. Excuse my question above. I meant to say basically, why wouldn't Solana follow Bitcoin's dump? And Tony C, I just explained that a little bit. Solana might not follow the dump because of Bitcoin dominance and because Solana against the Bitcoin pair was bullish. But it usually does. Like it might fall behind, but if Bitcoin really starts to dump here, then Solana will dump as well. But the thing is, like, because Solana was holding up a bit better, we also have to remember Bitcoin already pumped to take out the range highs. Solana hasn't taken out its range highs yet. So Bitcoin saw a very important liquidity grab. Now that liquidity grab could let the whales do a swing short to bring it all the way back down. Solana hasn't grabbed that very important key liquidity at the top of the range yet. So Solana might be just in this bullish structure a little bit longer until we grab that liquidity, and then it's going to do what Bitcoin does. But Solana's holding up. It hasn't hit this golden pocket yet. It hasn't invalidated it. Until it invalidates it, I am still leaning bullish on Solana locally. Now, I mean, like, very locally, I'm looking to come down to take out yesterday's lows. But overall, I'm looking to make a new high at pretty much to come up to 147 to take out that range high liquidity. By the way, after that, I'm looking for a dump back down because I want to see a tap 3 of this accumulation, like a big tap 1 in here, a big tap 2 in here. You get this push up and then a big tap 3, a 3 here, and that's going to be your 1, 2, 3 model, your accumulation, your rounded bottom, your inverse head and shoulders, whatever you want to call it, at your macro value area low. And then we would like to see expansion, and probably expansion at least up to 170 to take out these highs at 172. These anchored VWAPs are very important, guys. And they were aligning very nicely with our resistance up here, but now they're dropping a little bit. And by the time we get up there, like say we, do this and come up here, reject, and this is also our pitchfork band right up here, right? Reject from this area, come all the way back down here, bounce, and then work our way up. That naked daily point of control, these anchored VWAPs could be right around here. And that area right there could be a big pullback, back test the range highs, expansion. Because when you break out of a range, you're going to reject from a resistance, then you're going to back test those range highs. And this could be a good swing long here. Now, that's going to be quite some time away. We still have to deal with this. We still have to deal possibly with this. And that's if everything plays out. That's if the accumulation plays out the way we want it to. But we do have potential great swing trades coming on Solana and on Chainlink as well. Sui, man, there's a lot of good coins out here to be looking at. Okay, I'm way behind in the chat. Let me check this out. Render is weirdly strong. Let's see here. Let's see. Wow, yeah, it is. But once again, Render is an impulsive price action, right? And we're looking at this being a potential wave 1, wave 2, maybe a double 1, 2 here, a 3. So we're looking for 4 5s in here. You could even look at this as a wave 1, wave 2. All of this is a wave 3. And your wave 3, if this is only a single 1, 2, 1, 2, then this is a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. That's all within your larger third wave. And then you're going to expect a bigger pullback in a 4 and then one more 5. So the way Elliott waves work, and there's two types of price action. There's impulsive versus corrective price action. Impulsive price action is always in a series of 5 wave moves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With your third wave generally being your longest, strongest, most volume-filled wave to the upside. Not always, but generally. It's generally that. Your second wave generally pulls back to the golden pocket between the 0.5 and the 786, but your golden pocket's kind of your prime zone. The wave 4 retraces between the 382 and the 0.5 Fibonacci. And it depends on how bullish this was, but if it's very bullish, you usually only pull back to the 382. And then your wave 5, you can look at your targets. You can get them a couple different ways, your wave 5 targets. But let's just say this is your impulsive price action here, right? That's impulsive, 5 wave moves. After any impulse finishes, you're looking for some sort of corrective move. And that corrective move could be a sharp A, B, C corrective move that comes down to the golden pocket, pulled from the low of the impulse to the high of the impulse. You're going to come down to that higher low golden pocket, and then you could start a whole nother impulse. And that's your bullish market structure. Or you're looking for, there's a few different corrective moves. You could have a flat corrective move where you come down, you take the highs of your A wave, and then you take your initial highs in the B wave, and then you come down and take your lows of the A wave, and that's kind of a flat correction. And then and that's your kind of sideways range that you develop in here. And then you continue pushing up. I mean, there's also a WXY correction, which is a complex corrective move. And within a WXY, you could have ABCs within each of the WX and the Y. But what I will say is within this impulse, so within your wave 1, you're looking for a sub count of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In your wave 2, you're looking for a 3-wave corrective move. Within your wave 3, you're looking for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then another 3-wave corrective move. I drew that wrong, but you're looking for a 3-wave corrective move, then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, again in a wave 5. So impulse, 5-wave move within the first wave 1. It's fractals within fractals, guys. It gets very, very complex with Elliott waves. And then also you could have something called a double 1-2 impulse, like where it's a wave 1, you retrace to the golden pocket in a wave 2, then you have another push up, you take out those highs, but then you push down to the golden pocket again. Because remember, your wave 4 cannot hit the golden pocket. If you push down and you hit the golden pocket, now you say, okay, this can't be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you have to say this is a 1, 2, your primary count 1, 2. Then you have a second degree 1, 2, a 1, 2. And then you generally have your 3. You kind of create this parallel channel or rising wedge that exists in the first 1, 2s. Your 3 ends, then you pull back in a 4, then you'll get a 5. But because you had 2 1, 2s, now you have to have 2 4 5s, and then you'll have another 4 5, and you kind of create that parallel channel or rising wedge again. So you have your kind of grindy structure, your big impulse, and then a grindy structure, and then it will usually correct. So what we're looking at, and let's give a good example of that on SUI. I'll check render first, and then I can show you guys that. Let's see here. I know I have a chart of render USDT. There we go. So render is at the top of its, we checked this yesterday on render. We're at the top of the bearish pitchfork we rejected. But remember yesterday when I said we're probably going to come down to back test that pitchfork band? We didn't quite touch it until, I think yesterday we weren't quite down here yet. And we just touched it just now. So like, see, we rejected the top of the bearish pitchfork, fell down, back tested that pitchfork band now, flipped it to support, and now we're starting to push up here. But we have to watch, so let's look at this. Yeah, and we're kind of rejecting in that 1-to-1 to 1.236 zone because we haven't hit our 382 to our 0.5 yet. So if we're looking at this as a impulse 1, 2, 3, your fourth wave generally retraces minimum to the 382. We haven't retraced to the 382 yet. And look at how long your second wave was as well. So you want your fourth wave to be longer or as long as your second wave, similar in time and length, right? It can be longer. Generally, your fourth wave is longer, but you don't want it to be too much shorter. So this took almost 12 days, right? Well, what we're in right now, this corrective move is only taken 2 days, 4 hours. That doesn't make sense. So what can we look at now in the fourth wave is bounce, rejection on a lower high to now come down and hit that 382. That would give you your larger 3-wave corrective move. And then you could start that fifth wave to the upside, showing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pushing up. So we might still come down to hit that 382 or even that 0.5 Fibonacci that's got that naked daily point of control there. And yeah, I guess it depends on how you classify this, because you could count this. You could do, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then a big push up, or you could look at it as one bigger kind of push up here. Either way, it's acting pretty bullish, and we did bounce from the pitchfork band. Yes, we rejected the top. We're bouncing from the upper band of the pitchfork. Now, did we reject? We rejected between the 1-to-1 and 1.236, and we rejected between your golden pocket. So that is the perfect area to reject, right at that 1-to-1 and that 1.236. I would probably be looking at money flows draining out of the asset still on the 2-hour. Let's look at the 4-hour. Okay, not the worst looking, to be honest, not the worst looking here. Money flows coming up on NAMI and, starting to not roll over on Market Cipher B. And I want to look at the 8-hour. Interesting. Yeah, this it might chop around in here for a bit. It looks rangy to me. It looks indecisive to me. And we did not really see, I guess we did see some bear divs on NAMI coming up into that golden pocket and that one-to-one corrective move. I would say just because we are rejecting from the golden pocket one-to-one, if you don't hold this VWAP right here, because in a trending day, the VWAP will act as support. You can see, boom, support, 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 you get a new high. If we come here, hold this, we're probably going to get a new high. But if you lose the VWAP, then I think that we might see that move down over the weekend. It's not going to come straight down over the weekend. Small ebbs and flows, maybe some flats within there, some flat corrections within here that eventually bring us down to that 382 Fibonacci. And then from that 382 Fibonacci, you could be looking to long that based off of the larger bullish structure. And, 197, if you break 197, you might drop all the way to 181. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Mark, for posting the Mark posted the link in the description, guys. So if you want to find that link, it's in the description of the video. Quiles, thank you for being here. Okay, wait, lose sound. I think that's when I had to stop the dog. Let's see, thought we got rugged for a second. Yeah, sorry guys. He calls his wife dog. Yeah, Mark, I sure do. How did you know that? Oh man. That wick front and my TP2 on Bitcoin. Let's see, where's Bitcoin at? Gosh, yeah, we're starting to go into weekend type price action, guys. So it might be a bit crappy here. No, Jesus, I understand, and I'm sorry. I'm not married, guys. So I'm not married at all. I do have dogs. Yeah. 2. I love them to death. They are in some ways my girls. Sudeep, welcome in. Much love to you. Does he give out any course or learning videos? No, I don't have Tony CC. I don't have any courses or learning videos. I do live streams 3 times a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, usually at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I try to teach you guys as much as I can through those videos. Now, I am thinking about developing a course, or I also have the Telegram, which I try to post some insightful stuff. Yesterday, guys, I posted in the Telegram a really nice article about risk management. And I read that. I mean, it was fantastic. And I think everyone should look at that article. If you're in the Telegram, take some time to look at why that is so important. Actually, let me just do this here. The reason why I wanted to show you guys that article. Let's see, where is that at? So it really primarily talks right here about the win rate. A lot of people think you have to win like 70, 80% of your trades to be profitable. But if you have the right risk to reward ratio, you generally want to go with the 2.5 or higher risk to reward ratio. That means that when you're taking a long trade, you're risking 1% to make 2.5%, or you're risking. So for instance, on the short trade earlier today, for me, we came up, we hit the 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction. We rejected, fell back inside the volume profile, and then I shorted right here on the 786 touch. Right here, I shorted this. So I was shorting right here. My stop was above the local high. Stop being stupid. Okay, there. And then I'm targeting just yesterday's lows as a TP1, right? That's my TP1, is targeting yesterday's lows. So that's an 8-to-1 risk to reward ratio just off of that. And technically, I'm already in like a 4 to, my risk to reward already is up like 5. I've already, if I close it right now, I just made 5%, So because you want, if I would have short right now, let's say I wanted to short like right now, my stop was going to go above this high, because my idea is that we're going to take out this low before we take out this high. Then I would have to put my stop here. Now I only have like a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So you're risking $1 to make $1. you would have to win at least 60% of your trades. If you were having a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, you'd have to make at least 60% of your trades be winners just to make profit, and it would be small profit. But the higher your risk to reward ratio gets, the better your RR is, the more you could lose and still be profitable. So you can see this, the win rate here, even at a 30% win rate, excuse me. If you have a 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio, you can still be profitable with a 30% win rate, guys. That means you could lose more than you win and still be profitable because your risk to reward ratio is calculated. You know, at a 1-to-1, you have to, at 50% your break even, you have to win 60% to be profitable. Now, even in a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio, you could still be profitable with 40% win rate. It's not about winning every trade, guys. Every trader will not win every trade. And if they tell you they win every trade, run the other way, because I guarantee you they're either lying or they figured out some secret, and they should be some secret billionaire, you know, compounding their profits, winning every single trade. Man, if you win every single trade, it's just not likely. It's not realistic. It's about probability. And even if all the probabilities are in your favor, you still lose trades. Even if all the TAs in your favor, you have the confirmations, you have everything you're looking for. Sometimes there's just things in the market that happen. It goes against you. So what the key is in risk reward ratios, what the key is with trading is risk management, discipline, being disciplined, because a lot of people will also, they just like AXSCB said earlier today, or I think it was him that said that earlier today. I almost FOMO'd in on this pump. I almost FOMO'd in long, because they'll see it taken off without them, and then they get worried and they long right into this area. Actually, we saw a lot of people long right into that area earlier today. A lot of people longed right into that area earlier today because FOMO kicked in. They didn't have discipline. They didn't have a trading plan. They just saw it pumping and said, I'm going to long it because it's pumping. No plan at all. No risk reward ratio calculated. That's why it's so important. If you guys want to truly be long-term profitable traders, you need to have proper trade setups ahead of time. You need to calculate your trades ahead of time and make sure you are sticking to the discipline of those trades. I don't know how many times I've had a trade setup. Actually, I had a trade setup just recently that really hurt me. It hurt as far, you know, I was waiting in this week of price action. Let me just get rid of this for a second. In this week of price action during the holiday and Christmas and New Year's break, I was telling you guys, I'm waiting to come down to take out the 86.3K lows to grab that liquidity before seeing a move up. I thought that was the highest probability. Well, guess what? When we were coming down right here, I said, oh, this is my chance. I'm going to SFP and I'm going to get into the long. Well, we front ran it. We didn't take it. Then I said, okay, it came down here. Oh, this is my chance. It's going to come down a little bit farther. We front ran it. We didn't take it. Oh, I think we're going to get a chance finally to take it. I think front ran it, didn't take it. I didn't long any of this. And then guess what? This happened. And I didn't get in on most of this. I did a scalp long somewhere in there, but I missed that. But it's because I didn't have a plan to long it. Now you can develop new plans based off the price action. And if you're a scalper, you have to come up with plans throughout the day based off what price action is doing. And it really does take some skill to do that. But you want to plan your trades ahead of time to calculate that risk, because your position size is going to be based off of this stop loss percentage. So this stop loss percentage here, whatever this is, you're going to be risking generally 1 to 2% of your portfolio per trade, but you have to know what this number is to get the proper position size. And an example of that, like, let's just tell you guys an example of that. So earlier today, when we shorted that 786 Fibonacci, here, let's just throw it here. This is not my exact entry, but I'm just giving you an example. Stop goes above the high. You can give it a little bit of breathing room. You can see that's about a 0.338% stop loss, less than a 1% stop loss. And then coming down to take out those lows right down here from yesterday, right? An 8-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Now, let's just say my account size was $1,000. Okay. I'm just giving an example. Or let's say $10,000. Let's say my account size is I have a $10,000 portfolio that I'm trading with. Okay. So 1% of $10,000 is $100. Okay. And then you're going to look. So that's 1%. So I'm risking 1% per trade. Generally, that's what I risk per trade is 1% of my portfolio per trade. So I'm risking $100. Now I'm going to take this number here. So I know I'm putting $100. If I get stopped out, I'm going to lose $100. But I'm going to take that $100, that 1% that I'm willing to risk per trade, and now I'm going to divide that by this number, but this isn't in percentages, so you have to move the decimal over 2 spots if you know just basic math. So I'm going to do 0.00338. So now I can put a $29,585. That's going to be my position size. I can put $29,600 essentially on the trade. And if I get stopped out, I'm only going to lose $100. But if I win it, I'm going to win $800 essentially, because it's 8 times the reward is the risk. And that is why your risk to reward ratio matters so much. And really, even a 1 to 3, like a lot of your trades, you're not going to have an 8 to 1 or 10 to 1 risk to reward ratio. It's going to be in like the 3 to 4, maybe even 2.5. I sometimes will take, if I'm really confident, even if it's like a 2 to 1 risk to reward ratio, and I really am confident in that trade, I'll still take the trade. I might not risk a full percent on that trade, but I will still take it. Okay. Yeah, not yet. Stick around though, guys. I am planning on developing some learning stuff there, some educational stuff. I absolutely will. He's very okay, cool. Yes, and Sudeep, I am definitely looking at doing the Discord. All right, NQ and NQ pushing. Yeah, so stock market's bullish probably right now today. Wow, yeah. I mean, S&P's pushing. S&P bounced from our pitchfork midline. You know, I kind of expected this on the S&P. Broke, oh, wow, that's not, don't know why that changed. I hate how TradingView does that. But we're breaking above your pitchfork band, not your midline, your band, your pitchfork band. So, and we broke the all-time high, and we're pretty much maintaining above the all-time high right now. But I would get a little bit cautious because this is starting to get a little bit wedgy in here. But crypto, see, True Saiyan Elite, first of all, I love that name. You know, I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z, so awesome with that. But crypto is volatility, right? And I know the stock market can be very volatile as well, but with crypto, as a derivatives trader, you could long or short. So it doesn't really matter if the market's going up or down. You can still scrape money away from the market every day. Cool stream, first time. Oh, Crypto Motherfutter. I love that name too. Thank you for being here. And I'm glad, first time listener, welcome in. So with the background music, I was doing background music when we first started the stream, but a lot of people didn't like it actually. And I did a poll for a couple, like 2 or 3 weeks on the streams, and a lot of people decided that background music was actually a distraction in some ways. But maybe I'll try that out again. Maybe I'll get some background music and we can try that out and see if you guys like that. So Divine, we're more likely to dump from here, or is this a fifth wave going to extend even longer? On Bitcoin, I don't think we are going to see a fifth wave, because the thing is, if this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, you hit your golden pocket here, invalidating a fourth wave. So we're not expecting a fifth wave up here, if that's what you're talking about. Now, if you're talking about a larger, this being like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here, yes, it's still a probability, but at least locally, I would expect to come make new lows into the golden pocket then, and then you might see that. And the reason why, and it's very low probability, but this could be classified as a contracting diagonal in this first little bit here. And if it is not here, like this here, contracting diagonal in here, and if that's a contracting diagonal here, then yes, that could be, that's a motive wave, right? A motive wave, and then you have your retrace, and then this would be a third wave. But the thing is, even if you were expecting that to be contracting diagonal, higher low, and then your third wave here, you want that third wave to really break out. And we have failed the breakout of the range highs, and we're pulling back aggressively. So third waves don't do that. You don't really see that in a third wave. And anyways, even if this was a bigger, let me just grab this here. If this was a bigger wave 1 in a contracting diagonal, a wave 2 down to your golden pocket 786 area. The wave 3, within the wave 3, you would want a, what did I just do? Within the wave 3, you would want to see a 5-wave impulse within itself, remember? And we've invalidated that 5-wave. So within the wave 3, you want to see 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we didn't see this impulse has already been invalidated. So it's very less likely to be a larger wave 3. It's more likely that this is all a larger 3-wave corrective complex correction before potentially coming back down. Okay, do live trading in Discord. That would bring you people in. Yeah, guys, I used to do live trading in Jason's Discord for about 3 months before I started. Well, it was during my YouTube channel, but I was doing a lot more live trading in Jason's Discord, and then decided to switch it over to YouTube for my own channel. And Jason was encouraging of that. Okay, TA too good for background music. Yeah, so AXSCB, that's what a lot of people were saying when I first started the channel. They wanted to focus on the actual information rather than the background being distracting. I know a lot of people do use background music like Jason, but Jason can rap and he's very entertaining. I'm not like super entertaining like him. I'm just kind of a technical, nerd dude. I wish I could be entertaining like Jason. I love how entertaining he is. I love his raps so much. But I just have a little bit different style. Okay. Yeah, and I do kind of go through it fast. That's because there's always so much to cover. I don't know how some of these guys like Andy and Jason that have a couple 100,000 subscribers keep up with the chat and how they, get. Yeah, I know they'll go through an altcoin for like 2 minutes, but generally I like to actually give you guys good information on altcoin. So when I go through it, I like to actually do some decent TA on it. Okay, thank you for answering that. I remember BTC dominance, but don't look at it like enough. I should. Yeah, Bitcoin dominance can be important to know if the altcoins are going to run against Bitcoin. Oh, Trump is speaking. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. All right, let me see here. Where did that go? Trump speaking. Oh,
In this video, I will show you how to trade Elliott waves
by the way,
in the
guys.
most simplistic way with only
really
basic
good person
knowledge
too.
necessary about Elliott waves.
New, or will you be using the old?
Can you guys hear that?
You have?
Yeah, today it's a little bit of a mix, but today
you should be able to hear that.
Taking the equipment of today, getting it to the standards that we are accustomed to your comments about making it how it should be today. Most of the investments that we've been making are about getting it up to our standards.
Well, I think you're going to make
it's the best oil in the world.
Get your money back very quickly, and that's part of our thing. We're going to have you get your money back.
Aptos reminder. We'll look at Aptos here.
Venezuela and to the United States after that. Okay.
How long have I been trading for, Tony? I've been trading for about 6 or 7 years. 7 years, I would say. But it did take me some time to get profitable. I had to wreck myself. I'm not like I'm like many traders that start out at the beginning. I wrecked myself so many times. I blew accounts. I had to learn the hard way. And then once you start to learn the hard way, you really understand risk management. That's when stuff can start taking off for you.
Certainly, our industry knows that this is a real jewel.
Being impatient and overtrading. Overtrading is something I emphasize a lot, guys, because trading gets you a dopamine hit, and you always want to be in a trade. So part of what can keep you out of overtrading is taking partials and leaving something open, and then also hedging yourself, being long or short from the top. I'm still in that short, by the way, from the swing failure pattern. I'm out 75%. I forgot to add to it yesterday, or today, actually. I should have added to it. I was more focused on entering a different short. But you can also be long from lower, and that will give you your hedge, so you're in a trade from kind of both sides of the range, and that will help with overtrading.
Very wrongly.
But I win every trade. I don't use stop loss. But I win every trade. I don't use stop losses at all. I'm a swing trader and I hold trades until profitable. Okay, CJ, that's more of an investor mindset. And
are you going to be involved
generally with Bitcoin, yes, you will be profitable over time.
North Dakota.
I would say it's
He's in
it's
Oklahoma and some incredible
especially with
places.
smaller
It's a
day
little
trades
bit
and
different.
scalp trades. It's
There's no
very
doubt about
unlikely
it.
to
You
win
won't
every
have to worry
trade.
about the straw too much here. You can just go at it. Are you going to be one of the?
Can I say derivatives 5 times in a row? Derivatives, 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 derivatives. I think I got it pretty good. I use the magic 8-ball for my trading. I have a crystal ball, Time Attack. And Time Attack, welcome in, man. Thank you for being here. Thank you for modding for me. It's good to see you in here.
A great story. I love it. But I love
Barry,
Tony
Barry's the one that
C,
told me
I'll
this.
try to find where that was
you
in the
know,
video and clip it
in a
so I
lot
can
of
make that
ways,
into
so
like a
love
short
that
for you
story.
guys about the risk management.
Certainly, it excites me as an explorationist.
On the 15-minute, do we
you know,
touch
everybody
90.8K,
has
then
that in
go
their blood,
lower?
and-
I'm in a short from
and,
91.4.
it is a very
You're in a really good short. That's
exciting,
about where I'm in it from
country
too, is
and
91.4.
a lot of research.
Do we touch
And
90.8?
so it's got
and then
its
go lower?
challenges, and
Hold on
the
here.
industry knows how to handle that, and like
And
Darren
let me know,
said,
do you guys want to listen to
go in
Trump
with your
here?
eyes open and
I don't
every
even,
bit
I don't even know
can
if you
is the
hear
key
him. Let
to
me just,
So,
Well, you're going to
thank
have
you.
something that they never had really here.
Looks
It's
like you
tremendous
can, but-
security. You're going to be very secure, very safe.
have you
Physically
tried Rap
safe,
Divine?
in
You might
addition
have a
to
hidden
financially
talent.
safe. So,
No,
it's good to
Time
see you,
Attack,
guys.
I have
Thank you
not
very
tried it.
much.
I don't know, man.
Does anybody have
I just
anything to
can't come
say
up with it
before we
like
get to
Jason
the
does.
press?
Cuba have to do to avoid the same fate as Venezuela? What does Cuba
Okay.
Cuba's in
Well,
bad
thank you,
shape.
Tony C, for being
Cuba
here. I appreciate
relied
you,
on
man.
Venezuela for oil and for money.
I'm on the
Nobody
15
really
minute.
knows what's
Okay,
going to happen.
do we
with
touch
Cuba. They're doing very
90.8K?
poorly. They're really,
It looks like
third
we're already
world
below
all the way, and we
90.8K,
have a lot
but
of good Cuban
that's
Americans.
probably an old comment.
And I would say
Oh,
Marco
I
fits
see.
very
You're saying, do we
solidly into that
retrace to
category, and
90.8K,
I
then
might
go
ask
lower?
you to say a
Yeah,
few
that's
words about
absolutely,
we discussed
Alex,
it
that's
before.
absolutely a
Cuba
possibility
is
that
very
we
different.
come
They
up
don't
and
have
back
energy,
test
they
that
don't have
VWAP again,
oil,
because
but
that
they would
VWAP's at
live
90.8.
off of the
So
oil
let's
from
check out some
Venezuela,
of the
and
lower
what
time
they do
frames, see
have
what
is
we're
very
seeing here.
strong people and very powerful people militarily, and they would protect the people running Venezuela, and they would
Very
take in all
slight
their
bull
money
dibs.
from
I would say
Venezuela, so
no.
they don't have
I would
that.
say
They
it's
won't be
unlikely.
taking in
Money
any
flows
money.
draining
So,
out again.
Marco,
Money
what do you
flows
think?
topped out here.
Well, I
We
mean, the
did
fundamental
printed a
problem with
hidden
Cuba
bear
is
dip
that
here.
it's run by
To me, it's
incompetent
likely
people
that
that
we
don't know what an
continue
economy
down
looks like, much less a functional
without
one.
touching the
They've made a
VWAP yet.
choice, and that is they would
But
rather
you
have
might touch the
political
VWAP
control over
after
people than
grabbing
they would to have an economy
some
that
liquidity
functions.
here.
And
You
they've
might come
gotten
down,
away with
grab
it
this
for
into that
60-something
anchored
years
VWAP
because they've
again,
had donors,
and
the
then come
Soviet
back up
Union,
there.
and now most
Because
people in
remember, we're in
Venezuela,
range
but that's
trade.
now
We're in
gone.
week in range
So the
trading, so we're
people
gonna
in
chop
control
like
in
kind of
Cuba have a
sideways
choice
a
to
lot. So you
make.
might do
They can
something
either
like
have a real
that,
country with a
and then
real
come down,
economy where
grab
people
this
can prosper,
liquidity.
or they
You know,
can
come up,
continue with their
back test
failing
these prior
dictatorship
lows.
that's gonna lead to systemic and societal collapse. So it's a very
Chop
stark and
around.
dramatic choice,
Really
and it's
slow
one
and
we hope
boring.
to make the right one. We don't have an interest in a destabilized Cuba, but that
Okay,
would be their fault because they refuse to allow the people of Cuba to have either economic
Yeah, this is
or
a lot more
political freedom
educational
for
to
that
the
matter.
audience. Need to pay
And you have,
attention, so I
you
get it.
have-
Awesome. Well, Crypto
Tony, you
Mother
have a lot of
Butter,
people
thank you
in
so
this
much for
country
being here, and
that
thank you for
wanna go back
subscribing.
to Cuba
Tony
and
C,
help
thank you
Cuba.
for
A lot of
subscribing as
people
well. I appreciate you
left,
guys so
they
much.
came in penniless, they didn't
Everyone
have
in here,
anything,
all
and
the
they become
regulars that
very
have been
rich
in here
people
from the
in our
beginning, the
country, and
OGs.
they wanna
Thank
very
you
much
all
go
for
back
being
and
here.
help Cuba. So that's something that Cuba
Let's
has
see
that a lot of
here.
other places don't have. Peter?
I do want to ask you about Minnesota, but
Yeah,
first, just
thank
more
you,
on topic.
Alex.
President Zelensky said
Let's
that
see,
he was
how do I
watching
say that?
with the rest of
Alec
the world
Can-
as you made this
Kandar
order to
Petrov,
go and
thank you
capture
so much, and I'm
Nicolas
sorry I
Maduro. And he
butchered that
said
name. Thank you for
that's
that
how it works
comment.
with dictators.
You know, I
The
just
United
try
States
to
knows
stick to
what
the
to
TA
do
because
next.
that's what I know.
Sounds like he wants you to go
And if I
capture
tried to
Vladimir
rap,
Putin.
probably a lot
Would
of
you
you
ever
guys
order
would
him into
start
taking
laughing and then
Vladimir
leave.
Putin?
Well, I don't think it's going to be necessary.
I love
think we're
Jason,
gonna
though,
have
so much. He makes it
we've
so fun,
always-
and
I've
he's
always had a
very
great
educational,
relationship
too.
with him. I'm very disappointed. I said
All
in
right.
8 wars, I thought this would be in
Said
the
it many
middle of the
times
pack,
already.
or
Best
maybe
trader
one of
on
the easier
YouTube.
ones.
Bakito, thank you so
And
much,
I don't know
man.
if you know, Peter, the last,
Some are getting close,
month,
but you
they
use
lost
all TA
31,000
to
people,
analyze.
many
Yeah,
of them Russian
I
soldiers.
definitely
The
use a
Russian
lot of
economy
different
is doing
tools,
poorly.
and I
think
know
we're
I don't
gonna
know a
end
lot
up
of other traders that
getting
use
it settled.
pitchforks. And
I
honestly,
wish we could've
pitchforks
done
are
it
like my bread and butter.
quicker
I don't know
because
why
a lot
more
of people
traders
are
don't
dying,
use
and
pitchforks.
Mostly soldiers, you know.
I
they
guess
get
you
hit
have to
in
kind of learn how to
Kiev,
use
and
them. And
they get
I
a little
developed,
bit here and
I
there, and
learned the
people are
basics
dying
of
there
pitchforks
too.
from one of my
But largely,
mentors.
it's the
But then after
soldier
that, I
population.
really
when you have 30,000,
learned how to use them with Elliott
soldiers
waves in a
dying
way
in
that I don't think a lot of
period
people
month,
know how to use them.
27,000 the month
And I'm
before,
still developing that
26,000
strategy,
the
by
month
the way.
before that. That's bad stuff.
I have an Oracle
as you
chained
know,
up in my
President Biden
basement for all my
gave
trades. There you go, Hot Tamale, and
$350
welcome in, Hot
to
Tamale.
Ukraine
Man,
to fight.
let me have one of those
And,
oracles in the basement.
we would never get that back, although I did make a rare earth deal
All
to
right,
get it back, so we will be getting it back. but
I'd probably
shouldn't
keep
have
them in
done
my
that.
kitchen and feed
It
them
was
well,
it
but
was a bad thing to do.
feed them well, give
I
them a
will
nice
say
clean bed
that
to lay
right
it down in.
now, because I was able to get NATO to up
don't worry about
GDP
rapping.
from
I watched
2% to
Jason
5%.
Yeah,
NATO's got a lot of money,
they're all
and they're
great,
paying
guys.
for
All these
everything.
different
We're not
traders are great, and
losing
what's
any
great
money.
is they
We're
all
making a lot of money, I
have
guess, if you think of it, 'cause we're
different
selling our
styles,
military
right? They all
equipment,
have
they're
different
probably
styles, but
giving it
you
to
notice
Ukraine.
all the good,
We're
legit traders.
selling them to
Jason is
NATO
looking at the
military
same levels
equipment.
that I'm
We're
looking at.
getting full
Andy is
price
looking
and
at
all
the
of
same
that,
levels
but
that I'm
that's
looking
not
at. They
a
find them
big
in
deal to
different
me. What is
ways.
a big deal
You know,
is
another
stopping a
really,
war where
really great
30,000
trader out
people
there
are being
is
killed
Frankie
every single
Candles.
month.
I think Frankie Candles is one of the best volume profile traders that I know. And a lot of respect for that man as a person, too. And they all use different tools, but they all tend to get the same levels, and they also understand risk management and understand hedging, all the different things that are important in trading.
But he's generally very accurate. I hate to
And it's
say
no
it.
surprise that they have
Look,
good communities and that
I
they
watched that yesterday,
are
and there are a
profitable
lot
in
of
trading.
different forms to it. But there was a woman screaming, "Shame, shame!"
Okay, I see
shame,
21
shame.
crossing
She was
200 on the
a
1 second time frame right
agitator,
now.
probably a paid
Okay,
agitator, but in my
Samuel
opinion,
S.,
she was
welcome
an
in, man.
agitator, a
Thank you for
very
being here.
high-level
Guys, it's a
agitator,
Friday.
so
We're just chilling.
professional.
Not a lot is
She
happening
wouldn't
right now.
stop screaming. I said,
I
"This
still
isn't a
do
normal
think
situation.
Bitcoin
This
is going to
a
come lower,
professional
even potentially down to
troublemaker."
87.5K.
You heard it,
Now,
and I
remember,
have.
at
Now, I will say
87.5K,
this,
we
the
have
news
a
sort of
plethora
turned
of
her
support
down,
down here.
turned her off,
We have a
because
lot of
you were
levels.
trying
We
to
have a
watch.
naked
It was
daily point of
so
control down
loud
there
and so
at
crazy,
87,500.
and
We have a
just
daily
not
level
normal. When
that's down at
somebody sees something like that, they
87,500.
don't go
We have a weekly level at
screaming,
87,870,
words.
let's say.
So, I
This
guess you
box
could
of
say
support here, and then
professional,
it's
but I
also
didn't think
your
she did a very
large
good job.
8-week
You have
range point of
agitators,
control.
and we will always be
And as far
protecting
as volume
ICE, and we're
profile
always gonna be
trading goes,
protecting our Border Patrol
because
and
we
our
did
law
reject
enforcement.
after taking the liquidity of the range highs, we saw that swing failure pattern of the range highs. We took the liquidity and we dumped back inside the volume profile. We had a 3-wave corrective move to back test that volume profile. This rejection here is almost confirming that we are going to come down and hit the point of control. It might not happen right away. And there is still a small probability that your anchored VWAP can hold, and then maybe you're going to break back up. But overall, as far as the volume profile and market auction theory goes, we are back inside the volume profile. We have now confirmed reestablishment back inside of it. It's likely that we drop to fair value. Within a volume profile, the point of control is considered fair value for the asset. That's where people are willing, that's your fair value. I guess I don't know another name for it. And then the value area high is considered overvalued.
Thank you.
And your value area low is considered undervalued. So within a certain range for the past 2 months, this is our price action for Bitcoin, and we have our important volume levels where traders are willing to step in and sell at fair value or at overvalue. They're willing to buy at undervalue and at fair value. Sometimes you get bounces. If the market is really bullish, like imagine you were going into a store and you were buying whatever object it was, jewelry or watch or something like that, right? You're going to go buy a watch and you go into that store and you think that value for that watch is fair. It's a $5,000 watch. Okay, I think that's a fair price for that watch, and I want that watch because I'm bullish on it because I think it's going to go up in value over time. People will be willing to buy at fair value if they're bullish on the asset. So we do sometimes see long stepping in at fair value.
I've made the statement very strongly that if they start killing people like they have in the past, we will get involved. We'll be hitting them very hard where it hurts. And that doesn't mean boots on the ground, but it means hitting them very, very hard where it hurts. So we don't want that to happen. There have been cases like this where President
I just
Obama
want to check
totally
Ethereum out
backed
real quickly
down.
here.
But this is something pretty
I
incredible
think it's
that's
likely
happening
that
around.
Ethereum
It's
does
an
move down
amazing
to this
thing to
golden
watch.
pocket.
They've done a bad job.
And
They
it's our
treated their people
value
very
or
badly, and
our
now they're being
point of control
paid
of the
back. So
range.
let's see what happens. We're watching it.
Golden pocket point of
We're
control
watching
in
it very
here.
closely. Go ahead, please. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Do you have any comments on reaction to the
It's also a daily level in there.
government alignment groups against
Naked
US
weekly point of
backed
control
Kurdish
in there.
forces Aleppo, Syria,
Naked
which
daily point of
killed
control in there.
dozens of civilians
So
and
that
displaced
is
many
really
families.
a nice
Does
zone.
your administration bring peace between the
If
Kurds
we
and
come down
Syrian
around
government?
20,
I want to see peace. Yes, I do. The Kurds and the Syrian
29.75,
government,
let's
we
say,
get
to
along
about
with both, as you know
29.60,
very well.
man, I will
They
be
have
looking for
been
at least
natural
a scalp
enemies
long
over the years,
opportunity.
but we get along
Another
well.
thing is we haven't back tested the
they wanna
value
see
area high
Syria
since
succeed.
falling back inside the volume
And so
profile.
far, I think they are
So if we do do
but
drop
this is
down
just
that
breaking
far,
out, and
we
we
could
wanna see that
bounce from this
stop.
area to back test that value area high and confirm rejection, and then maybe we're going to
Go
fall
ahead,
to
please.
value area low. Who knows? But
Colombia, Gustavo Petro, in a few
I
weeks.
would
Do
be
you
looking
hope
for
this
potential
meeting
longs
with Gustavo Petro marks
from this
a new
area.
chapter, a new beginning in the benefit of the
Oh,
Yeah,
shoot.
Mexico,
Trump is
what
still on the
country?
background.
What
Do you
country?
guys want the
Colombia, with the
Trump
president of Colombia
stuff on
yesterday.
right now?
I had a very
I guess
good
if
talk
we're
with
going to
him
leave him on, maybe I
yesterday.
should stop talking for a bit.
And he's been very hostile to us and to the nation and to me. Called me a dictator and lots of other things. Called Biden some terrible names, far worse than he called me. But he called.
Is he even talking about crypto or market related stuff, oil and stuff like that? Or is it just more political stuff going on right now? It is no Trump. It is hilarious. Yeah, he can be hilarious sometimes when he speaks. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to turn off Trump for now. If something happens, well, we're not seeing volatility from whatever he's saying. He can absolutely move the market, though. Yeah, his bedroom performance probably won't last longer than 3-minute price action. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I didn't mean to leave that on. I kind of forgot about that. Full port, welcome in, man. And yes, Pitchfork Elliott Wave video for sure. Pitchfork exactly another tool that I picked up from the stream. Yes, I really, Tony, for me, pitchforks are amazing, amazing tools. Yeah. Okay, I shut it off, guys. Hopefully that, yeah. Cool. Slick Shoes, welcome in as well. It's good to see you in here. Hope you guys are all having a good Friday today. Really, we kind of only got one or two trades. You know, this morning you could have taken that scalp long, you know, the bounce right here. You could have taken that scalp long opportunity. I guess it happened for me, I was sleeping still. Or you could have taken this long here. That was pretty aggressive though. I honestly thought we were going to come for the lows. But seeing that 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction reject us right here. Came up perfectly, hit that 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction, rejected, fell back inside the volume profile. To me, that makes this far more likely to be a 3-wave corrective move and then continue pushing down here. Now, this push down could take 3 to 5 days, guys. This push down, initial push down was 2.5 days or almost 3 days. So maybe this is going to be 3 to 5 days in here. It would be nice to maybe push down and grind slowly throughout the weekend down. And then come Monday when market opens, when New York opens on Monday, you know, maybe hit into the support with some bull divs on the chart. Nice little long opportunity. I made my fortune in 2024 when I longed from 67K on 200x leverage with $67, and I closed on the long on 104K and made around $7,800. Nice, dude. CJ, that's awesome. I mean, that's very risky to use 200x leverage, but I'm really happy that worked out for you, man. And that's awesome that you were able to make a decent amount of money for you that changed your situation for you. So great job there. Mark Dexter, 69% chance he won't last. Yeah, Slick Shoes, I agree with you. Sideways is the name of the game during especially Saturday. Like Saturday price action, guys. I think this was so Saturday price action. You know, now this was during a holiday weekend as well, but Saturday price action, you know, like Saturdays are boring. That's why you guys don't even see me Saturday price action. You guys barely see me. I don't make any content on Saturday. Also, family's kind of important to me. So I spend, you know, Saturdays, I enjoy time with family and friends and stuff like that. But I barely look at the charts on Saturdays. I'll have alerts set, of course. If something happens, I have alerts set. But Saturdays to sit at the chart all day and stare at a chart is a waste of time for me. Unless you're doing like micro scalping, 1 second, not maybe like 1 minute scalping. And I guess I know people that are successful doing that, but it's not my cup of tea. Yeah, Divine Pump song. Man, I have to ask Jason to help me out with that. Get a pump song going. And a dump song. I know Jason still doesn't have a dump song after years, and I've been telling him. Okay, let's get back to total market cap chart. Guys, total market cap as well. We've fallen back inside the volume profile. So another thing that I look at as far as confluence, why total market cap is the entire market cap of Bitcoin and all of the altcoins, all of crypto. But when you see total market cap at the bottom of a pitchfork holding support over and over and over, you at least expect to pump to the highs of the range. And we did pump to the highs of the range. We broke out of the highs. We took the liquidity of the range highs. And now we've fallen back inside of our volume profile. And right now you can see we're chopping between the point of control and the value area low of that volume profile. But I think it's likely that we could drop to backtest that pitchfork again. And that is going to be a golden pocket as well in there. Golden pocket right at the bottom there. So that would be a nice little support level. If we do bounce, that's kind of like Bitcoin's 87.5K support level. So if Bitcoin drops to 87.5 and the total market cap is also dropping down here, we might be able to at least get a decent long from that. And that long could end up in a breakout. But once again, our overall market structure is bearish. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Now, all of this could be a lower high before creating another lower low. And if we break this pitchfork structure, I do think we are going to see a significant dump if we break it. In terms of Bitcoin, and let me show you guys this. So this is where pitchforks can be absolutely OG, especially the high time frame pitchforks. On this pitchfork here, let me hide some of this stuff that we're looking at. We have this very respected pitchfork that was pulled literally from the COVID lows up to your 65K highs, which was the highs as far as volume and money flow goes of that bull cycle, not the 69K highs. And then we dropped to the bear market lows. This pitchfork has been so highly respected throughout almost all of the bull market. You can see we came up to the lower band, rejected the lower band, made a higher low. Then we tested the top of the band, rejected, made a higher low, and flipped your prior highs to support. Okay. Then we pushed up. This was a flat correction in here. Flat correction. And then we push up, break through the pitchfork band, and then back test that band as support. Once it holds its support, you shoot right up to the midline. That was your 2024 all-time high at the midline. Sideways and down corrective move. You back test the pitchfork band at towards the end of 2024. You break up. And now you're trying to flip that midline, which was acting as resistance in here. You're trying to flip it to support. Well, we did break up above it, but this is almost a failed auction of it. You break above it, and this was a distribution range. And by the way, guys, I was talking about this. Go watch the video I made on Wyckoff distribution when we were in this range. Before we dumped down, I said it's highly likely to be distribution based off the bear divs we were seeing and money flow leaving out of the range as it was forming. And we dumped down. We couldn't hold the midline. The midline was holding for a couple months as support. You can see we had some wickage below it, but no daily candle closes below it. No daily candle closes below it, just some wicks below it. And then we lose it, back test it here. And then that's when you get your big drop. And we did drop. The 74K low was another important low of a bullish pitchfork. Very important low in here. Bounced, came all the way up to the upper band, rejected the upper band, 3-wave corrective move to the midline, bounced from the midline, upper band again, upper band again. And this was our all-time high distribution range. Just like this was a distribution range. This was a distribution range. And then we started dumping. But we haven't come down to the lower band yet of this pitchfork. And the fact that we rejected the last all-time high was the rejection of the midline here. I think that it's possible we are going to come down and potentially even come down to take out your lows at 74K into the bottom of the pitchfork band. And the reason why we're looking at that as a possibility is because of our Elliott wave count. Why do I have two of those? We had our big weekly 5-wave impulse, right? On the weekly time frame, you have your big impulse, a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. Now, because we broke market structure on the weekly time frame by breaking this low right here, we broke market structure on the weekly time frame bearishly. Okay? That means we could end this impulse. Maybe this impulse is done. But we came up and made new all-time highs, Divine Hood, so it can't be done. Well, this is an example of a flat correction. You make your initial drop down, you move back up between the 1.236 and the 1.382. That's the targets for a flat correction. We rejected right in that area, and now we've started to impulse to the downside. From the all-time highs, this is definitely looking more impulsive than corrective. At least it was. Now with this range that's going on 2 months, it's starting to lessen the probabilities, but not invalidate the probabilities. So now I'm looking at, and I've been looking at this literally since this range here. We were looking at, in a super cycle scenario, the most bullish thing to see would be this. Finish your 5-wave impulse, see a flat correction coming down to take out your A-wave lows into your pitchfork band or into your golden pocket at 70K, and then you could start a whole nother bullish cycle. That's kind of the super cycle theory. So this is one of the theories we've had on the chart for over a year now, or about a year now, I would say. And who knows if it plays out. Now, of course, we didn't know that it was going to reject up here. I was also looking at a rejection on a lower high or an equal high, and then the dump. So, of course, we've had to kind of rework the flat count as price actions develop throughout the year. But if you go watch some of my early videos from last year, you'll see that we were talking about this. Yeah, sometimes alts do move on Saturdays. That's for sure. Gonna dump next 2 hours. Yeah, Alexander, I would say it's likely that we're gonna continue to dump locally too. There's a guy on YouTube called Green Star combining Elliott waves with pitchforks. Learned a lot from him. Oh, okay, Olafray, we'll have to check him out. Interesting. A lot of bearish CVD building up, probably going lower. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, we are building. Well, it's bearish CVD divergence, but it's not bearish CVD absorption. So, guys, this is your order flow, and CVD. All CVD is market longers or market shorters, right? So you're looking at, if your CVD is increasing, it's long positions coming in. If your CVD is decreasing, it's short positions coming in. But you have to look at your open interest, because if your open interest is dropping while shorts are coming in, it's not new short positions. Open interest is just positions opening or closing. So when open interest is going up, that means new positions are entering the market. When open interest is going down, that means positions are closing out of the market. So if you're dropping on your CVD, meaning shorts are coming in, but your open interest is also dropping, it's not new shorts that are pushing the price down. It's late longers that are getting stopped out or liquidated that are pushing the price down. So it's not as strong of a move. And right now, you can see CVD is it's making new highs locally, and we're making lower highs on the price action locally. So it's bearish CVD divergences locally. We're making some bearish CVD divergences, but your open interest overall is dropping here. So it's not bearish absorption. Bearish absorption is the far more likely, reliable indicator. And we're seeing a little bit of a pump right now, huh? I see. We just had an SFP of that little local low. So we just took some liquidity. Let's see if we push up to the golden pocket of this golden pocket 786 here. We're at the golden pocket right now. 786. Let's see if we reject. We probably come up to the 786 and fill this little fair value gap. That's a 5-minute fair value gap right here. So let's see if we fill it up to the 786 around 90,378. We could reject from the start of the fair value gap, which is the golden pocket. But this little gap right here in price action, let's see if our indicator, yeah, see, we started to fill it already, but coming up to the 786 would fill that fair value gap. So we might come up to like 93.78, or we could just reject from this golden pocket now. Either way, I expect us to continue pushing down, guys. Once again, if we take out yesterday's lows at $89,200, sorry, these lows, I will look to take some profit on the short. Short was from right here. Yeah, Fibonacci's are another really, really great tool. Olafare. Okay, guys, I do have a couple things to do before I gotta get the kiddo. So it is a Friday. It's probably not a lot's going to be happening for the rest of the afternoon. I would expect us to continue to grind down slowly. You can watch for liquidity grabs, internal like daily liquidity grabs for a small move. So if we continue down here, we might see a little liquidity grab and a little push up, or we might come down and sweep this low and then see a little push up. But I would still be expecting us overall to kind of drop. And potentially come down to 87,500. That might not happen till next week, till market opens next week. But thank you guys all so much for being here. I appreciate all of you so much. Thank you to the new subscribers that came in, new people that came in. You guys have a good weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Make sure you get some time away from the charts, reset the mind. And I will see you guys next week. Much love to you all. Have a good weekend.